Marvel Rivals literally dug up the lifeless corpse of Concord this week and just started like throwing bows at its face, just punching its head. And I like, look, this was well deserved because Marvel Rivals has been having a incredible launch. 72 hours post launch, the game has 10 million players. That's massive. And the game has established itself as one of the top streamed games on Twitch, YouTube, Rumble, Kick, Snick Snack, Boom Boom, Glorby, and Foottack. Guess which one of those aren't real. Anyway, if you're not aware, the game is a 6v6 team-based multiplayer video game with Marvel heroes and villains, and each of them have super cool, like, unique powers and skills, and there's also, like, team mechanics, which is something I've never seen before, because Overwatch, I think, could greatly benefit from that. Like, what if, you take two characters and put them together? How do they benefit off each other? Like, I saw videos this week of the Hulk grabbing Wolverine and chucking him halfway across the map, and he like lands and like spikes a dude. I saw a shark go underground and eat an entire team. There's a lot of cool mechanics here, and the game's doing fantastic. So kudos to the studio there. And I think it has a lot of studios and including people like myself looking at it and being like, if the 6v6 genre isn't dead, like I said it was, when Concord failed, I was like, maybe this genre is just done. Like maybe Overwatch is kind of it for what we can do, and like maybe people are just wanting something new. Apparently it's not the case. Marvel Rivals is doing well, so the 6v6 genre wasn't the problem. Well, then why did Concord, how could they not stick the landing here? I mean, just a friendly reminder, Concord was Sony's most ambitious game launch for this year. They launched it, and then it shut down 2 weeks later. The game internally was called Sony's Star Wars. Like, they wanted to blow this up into a multi-vertical genre for the studio, and like, the reports I read, Sony lost $400 million when it came to this game. It's nuts. And look, if you lose $400 million, you have to look at yourselves and be like, all right, who's getting fired? Right? Titus lost me $5 in a vending machine this week. I almost fired him on the spot. But I think it does raise the question, like, why did Concord fail and Marvel Rivals succeed? Well, Marvel Rivals game director Thaddeus Sasser, he joined the Video Gamer podcast and suggested that Concord failed because it couldn't bring any unique value. With Thaddeus specifically saying, as a game developer, you're always worried until the audience has responded. The truth is that I don't think anybody can accurately predict this or the game industry would be radically different today. There's a lot of games that come out that people are like, it's going to do well, and then it flops, and people come out and it's like, it's going to flop, and then it does extremely well. So I think it's really hard to tell ahead of time, and you're always worried about that. I think the trick is that you need to have that reason that people want to come and play your game. And I think Marvel Rivals does exactly that with superheroes. I don't know about you, but when I heard the concept of the game was like, oh my god, I want to go play Storm in the game, or I want to play Doctor Strange in the game. I want to be those heroes in the game. That sounds awesome. And of course, my mind immediately leapt to all the cool possibilities that you could have with that. That's what I think will pull people in as well too. If we've done our jobs well, they'll love what they play and they'll want to play some more. And look, I definitely agree with what he's saying here. Like, when you look at Marvel Rivals, you have established IP, right? Concord, I didn't know who any of these characters are, right? We talked about this with the Secret Level. Like, Secret Level has a Concord episode coming out, and it's like, they're finally establishing these characters after the game got killed. Right? Imagine you get this awesome episode from Secret Level and you're like, dope, I want to play this game, and then the game's available, like Shadow dropped that day. It's a completely different story. And Thaddeus does kind of expand this a little bit by saying with any of these games, there's a switching cost. I've already invested into Overwatch and I've got like 15 skins that are Pharah. I'm not going anywhere. You're just going to stay in this game. So you have to give people a reason to switch, which raises the question that if established IP is what you need as a studio, is that all we're going to see in the future? Like, are we just going to get established IP? Like, are we just going to get another Hollywood era of video games where you have these characters? And does this mean that studios look at Concord and they're like, yeah, we're not going to invest in new IP? But I would raise the question that, hey, it's not about investing in new IP and not being able to do that. I think it's how you deliver it. I think you almost have to have a multimedia launch where it's like, web comics, you have videos, you have even animated series that build these characters up. And I think you look at a game like Apex Legends. Apex Legends has so much lore surrounding their characters that it's like you could create an Apex Legends movie and people already know who those characters are. You don't need to do the intros. So again, I agree with what they're saying here of why Marvel Rivals succeeded was because it had a draw-in factor of Marvel Rivals. So you take that same game and you put anything else over it. I don't think it's having the successful launch that it's having. I think Marvel Rivals is successful because of Marvel. It's not successful because of the genre. It's successful because of what people know Marvel is, and they want to be those characters. If you took the Concord characters and put it over the mechanics in that game, I don't think we succeed here. But anyway, it's going to be very interesting to see how this story develops. I wonder if we're going to hear the team behind Concord like fire back. I jokingly said on the daily, like this has the potential to be like the West Coast, East Coast beef here. Tupac, Biggie. Like, or is this going to be like going back and forth, shots fired? But I will obviously keep you guys posted if this changes at all.